Well, the countdown to the 2026 FIFA World Cup is on. Today, state lawmakers got an update on MARTA's game plan for those games and what riders can expect before the tournament arrives here in Atlanta. Ariana Melise joining us live outside this morning near where these games are going to happen. Ariana, has MARTA already started doing, well, we know that MARTA has done a lot of work, but what exactly have they started doing to get ready for the World Cup? In a blink, we know, what do they say, like 8 Super Bowls it's going to be like, it's going to be here in Atlanta. Are they ready for it?
Yeah, it will be a major game when the World Cups come here to Atlanta. And today was like a World Cup readiness check. And MARTA's leader says the goal is simple: to go from good to great. Now, during today's meeting, it was held before the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Overview Committee in front of lawmakers. MARTA's interim CEO, Jonathan Hunt, says that his top priorities are increasing ridership and improving customer service by delivering a safer, cleaner, more reliable system. Hunt said one of the biggest changes is a new tap and pay fare system called Better Breeze, and that's expected to launch in April of 2026, allowing riders to just tap a credit card, phone, or smartwatch. He also told lawmakers that MARTA's first new trains in 40 decades, those are expected to start rolling out the first week of June. And on buses, Hunt said MARTA is redesigning its network, cutting routes by increasing frequency and adding on-demand service called MARTA Reach. And on safety, Hunt told lawmakers MARTA is one of the safest transit systems in the country, and that violent crime is down with more officers and more recruits in the pipeline. And before lawmakers, Hunt, he also asked lawmakers to back two of the transit agency's key priorities heading into the legislative session, and that is extending the regional transit sales tax known as the core penny tax, and also passing an enforcement for cameras for the bus routes so the rapid transit buses are not blocked by illegal parking. And lawmakers, they wanted some answers from Hunt, wanting to know a better timeline on major projects such as the South DeKalb Transit Hub and the Clifton Corridor. Hunt says that he will come back before lawmakers with definite dates. But as far as the World Cup, he says that the transit agency will be World Cup ready by this summer.
A man is in custody following an overnight SWAT standoff in a DeKalb County neighborhood. We brought you this story as earlier breaking news this morning. So police say that Tobias Starks was barricaded in a home in Panthersville, leading officers to block roads since 11 last night. Family members tell us warrants led to this incident and that Starks had broken into a neighbor's home over the past week. They say that officers, they used tear gas to remove him. There was significant damage inside the home. However, they say that Stark was taken into custody without injury. Also this midday, police are investigating the shooting of a 16-year-old last night in Collier Heights. Police say that the teen was shot in the foot, and right now we're working to find out more information and any potential suspects here. Also today, a man accused of stealing unreleased Beyonce music pleaded not guilty in court. Kelvin Evans, he was arrested back in September, and police say that he stole several items from a vehicle in a Krog Street parking deck. Well, that was 2 days before Beyonce's very first Cowboy Carter show here in Atlanta in July. Officers say that the stolen items, which included jump drives with unreleased music, belonged to members of her team. Evans is expected back in court in February. And a devastating update now to a days-long search in DeKalb County for a missing 79-year-old woman with dementia. Authorities confirmed that they found Ernestine Merritt dead in the woods near the last place that she was seen on Yolanda Trail in Ellenwood. No foul play is suspected at this time. Well, today, veteran 11Alive anchor and reporter Valerie Hoff will be laid to rest. She died at the age of 62 after a battle with lung cancer. The administration seeks formal approval for its East Wing project. The National Capital Planning Commission is set to review it after receiving the formal submission today. And that proposal the White House submitted, it says that the renovation will address a long-standing need for a larger indoor event space. Well, right now, groups with more than 200 people require hundreds of thousands of dollars for tents and lawn maintenance. According to the White House, the changes to the historic building is also facing lawsuits, congressional inquiries, and some public outrage. Meanwhile, attorneys for President Donald Trump, they want to recoup more than $6.2 million in legal fees spent on the Georgia election interference case. 11Alive's Grace King found out that it will now be up to Fulton County Judge Scott McAfee to determine how much of that money paid by the district attorney's office under a new state law.
On Wednesday, 8 law firms representing President Donald Trump submitted their legal bills to the courts in hopes of recouping more than $6.2 million spent on the election interference case.
This is like every other legal case. It starts off very simply, it ends very simply, but in the middle it gets layered and complicated.
As written, state law allows these attorneys to ask for reimbursement of reasonable costs associated with this case. Attorney Daryl Cohen says it'll be up to Fulton County Judge Scott McAfee to decide what reasonable is.
It depends on the lawyer's age, how long he or she has been practicing, their level of expertise, and what it would likely cost had he or she not represented him, but someone else did.
Documents submitted by attorney Steve Sadow show he charged roughly $1.5 million for his work defending the president. He told 11Alive in early December that he expects the Fulton County District Attorney's Office to pay for that.
It's unfortunate that her budget will be so affected, but she's the one that brought the case, and she's the one that has to live with the outcome.
Sadow expects attorneys for the other defendants to file motions as well that could raise the proposed bill to nearly $10 million.
My guess is that they will settle for significantly less, but does that mean $5 million? Does it mean $2 million? Does it mean 5.8? I don't know, and I don't think any of us know at this point.
Grace King, 11Alive News.
We do know that Fulton County allocated about $40 million in its budget for the DA's office this fiscal year. Now, if that $10 million estimate is accurate, attorneys on this case are asking for nearly $1 out of every $4 funded by the county. Now from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where a 37-year-old woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent Wednesday afternoon. Tensions are rising across the country today. You're taking a live look here. A photographer there in Minneapolis, obviously right there navigating this demonstration. These are protesters gathering in the aftermath of that shooting. You can obviously see there are several ICE agents, law enforcement, very icy cold out there. We also know that several protests and vigils are planned today in communities across the country, not just there in Minneapolis, demanding an end to President Trump's immigration crackdown that we have seen across the country. And this morning on 11Alive Plus, we spoke with Gerald Griggs, the president of the Georgia NAACP, about what happened. He says that he doesn't fully believe the narrative being put out by the federal government and is now calling for more transparency.
I think that there is a long way that we have to go to rebuild trust. I think ICE needs to be more transparent and turn this investigation over to the local authorities. I'm sure in Minnesota, Minneapolis, after what happened with George Floyd, they have an ability to investigate this through the state's attorney's office and get to the bottom of whether or not charges will be filed. My other concern is from information that I'm receiving, this young lady may have been one of those people that are legal observers to observe what ICE was doing with the community there with the raids. So there are some serious questions, serious legal questions that need to be answered, and it has to be done by an outside independent organization, not the ones who are allegedly responsible for the shooting.
We do know that today in Atlanta, protesters will gather in solidarity and demand an end to ICE raids and police violence. The For Socialism and Liberation Atlanta branch and the Immigrant Rights Alliance, they are set to hold the rally at the Georgia State Capitol tonight at 7 p.m.
Right near 70 degrees for the afternoon high temperature today, where we should be in the low 50s. So another bonus day for us, despite the fact that we have the clouds. Not the prettiest looking days. Now we do need or could use a little bit of rainfall around the area. We got a little moderate drought over the metro area. To the north, we have severe drought. And so the rain would certainly help us out. 30% chance for that coming to us by tomorrow. And that's for the metro area. I do think our far northwestern counties will see a little bit more in the way of rainfall. That front that's going to bring this will make it more widespread as we head into Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon. There could be a couple thunderstorms around as well, and then we'll clear it out for Sunday and into Monday. Again, you notice the clouds over our area. Again, no rain here. You look back off to the west. west. That's where we're seeing these thunderstorms. That red box indicates a tornado watch. There's severe thunderstorm warnings associated with that line, but that's not moving in our direction. That's moving further off to the north and east. So we'll miss that one. We'll be waiting on the front that's still back off to the west. That will make its way into the area. That's going to bring a better chance for that rain. You see the severe weather threat. It's a level 1 threat from Memphis down through Jackson, a level 2 threat where we have the thunderstorms now. This system will intensify tomorrow as it moves a little bit further over toward the east. You see that yellow area just back off to the west of us from Alabama over toward Louisiana. That's a level 2 threat. The level 1 threat now extends into our state, including our far northwestern counties like Dade and Walker County all the way down to the city of Atlanta. This means that isolated strong severe thunderstorms are possible, and that will be the case on Saturday as well, as that level 1 threat covers all of North Georgia. The main risk for this will be very heavy rain, anywhere from 2, maybe up to 3 inches in some spots. Strong winds could be associated with a few of those thunderstorms. Low tornado threat, but it cannot be ruled out. All right, here's how it all plays out. Forecast track model shows the clouds for today. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, we'll have mostly cloudy skies. We'll be dry, and then once we get to the afternoon, then here comes that rain. Again, mainly up here to our far northwestern counties. Rome is included in that. Again, it may begin to move down to the south into northern Cobb County, northern Paulding County, but it stays mainly up toward the northeast. And then as we head into Saturday, that's when we're expecting that rain to get a little bit further down into the metro area. A couple claps of thunder, certainly not out of the question. Cooling down behind that front, 40s for Sunday and Monday, back to the low 50s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Okay, if you're headed to the post office today, we do have an update for you. Listen up. Retail operations at the Stockbridge Post Office on Walter Way, those have temporarily been halted because of some damage to the building. If that is your post office, or if you have a P.O. box there, you should go to the Rex Post Office on Evans Drive until those operations are up and running. Now to a few events happening today. So get ready, Atlanta. Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq, he is taking over MARTA's Midtown Station. The former NBA star, he is hosting the Shaq-alicious Slams experience. There's going to be some games, some giveaways, a mini dunk contest. If you can show off your skills, I don't know if Chesley's going to be out there. I wonder if he has any skills. You can also try Shaq's new gummy candy. That fun starts at 2 at the Midtown Transit Station over there on 10th Street. Former professional basketball player and Olympian and WNBA coach Nancy Lieberman is partnering with the Boys and Girls Club to unveil a brand new dream court in Gainesville. This ribbon cutting, it is happening today at 4 p.m. at the Positive Place Boys and Girls Club. And this is a full-size court. It features 2 new hoops, a high-performance power game surface, and the dream court logo front and center.